Ask anyone who saw it. American Graffiti is the fun one.
Well, get bent, turkey.
The summer one. Cars, burgers, rock and roll. One warm night in 1962, kids cruising the same strip. That's how we remember it.
Do you go to JC? Yeah, sure. Oh, wow. Do you know Guy Phillips? Oh, he's so boss.
But it's a movie about a good time that leaves you sad.
Hey, zit makeup.
Hey, come on.
Hey, everybody.
Just cool it, huh?
You laugh the whole way through. Then the lights come up and something aches.
No, would I kid you about a thing like that? I have a new car. Hey!
Why does the happiest movie of its decade end like a funeral? Stick with me. The Disguise. Let's start with what you think you remember. One night, the end of summer, 4 friends drifting around a small town that could be anywhere. There's barely a plot. Nobody robs a bank, nobody saves the world. They just drive. That's the surface, and the surface is so charming that most people never look underneath it. Here's a test. Try to tell someone the plot of American Graffiti. Go ahead. You'll start and then stall. Well, there's these kids and they drive around and nothing happens that you can put in a sentence. And yet, you'd watch it again tonight.
Double chubby chuck, a Mexicali chili barb, 2 orders of French fries, and 2 cherry coke.
How does a movie with nothing to summarize become impossible to forget? Because the feeling is the story. Lucas hid the real movie inside the mood. And the mood, if you slow down and listen to it, isn't joy. Not exactly. It's joy with a clock running underneath. Every scene is fun, every scene is also slipping away. So what is it counting down to?
What did you say? Wait, what did you say? What did you say? Quick, hang a right.
Why 1962? Why that exact year? This is the question almost everyone skips. The movie came out in 1973, but it's set in 1962. Lucas reached back exactly 11 years to tell this story. Not 20, not 30, 11. Why does that matter? Because of what happened in between.
I gotta go talk to Lori. Now take it. Take it! Now, we're leaving in the morning, all right? We're leaving in the morning.
In 1962, the kids in this film think tomorrow looks like today. Then 1963 comes and a president is shot. Then Vietnam swallows a generation. Then the cities burn. Then 2 more leaders are gunned down. By 1973, the audience watching this movie had lived through all of it. So when those theater lights went down, people weren't just watching teenagers cruise a strip.
What should we do with you?
Tie him to the car and drag him.
They were looking back across a canyon. They knew something the kids on screen didn't. That's the secret weapon. The audience carries the grief. The characters carry the innocence. And the gap between them is the whole movie. Lucas didn't pick 1962 because it was fun. He picked it because it was the last year before the floor gave way.
Yeah, listen, you got any more of those secret agent spy scoop?
It's right on the stethoscope.
No, the secret agent spy scoop, man.
Why does nothing happen? And why is that the point? Here's something you may have felt without naming it. These kids drive in circles, literally. Up the strip, around, back down, around again, same cars, same faces, same songs on the same radio.
Hey, why don't we go get your Jeep?
What? What are you talking about?
You know, your Jeep, the one you sold the hunting ponies for. One with a 4-wheel drive.
A normal movie would call that a problem. Lucas made it the meaning, because that endless loop is exactly what childhood feels like from the inside. Like it'll go around forever, like summer doesn't end, like the people next to you tonight will always be next to you. And every single person watching knows that's a lie.
Well, get bent, turkey.
So you sit there enjoying the circle while a small voice in your chest keeps whispering, "This stops." You don't want it to. They don't know it will. That tension is the engine of the entire film. And notice what's missing. There's no villain. Nobody's chasing them. There's no bomb, no bully, no bad guy to beat. So where does the dread come from? From the clock. The antagonist of this movie is time itself. It's the one enemy you can't outrun, outdrive, or punch. And Lucas makes you feel it stalking these kids without ever showing its face. That's why it unsettles you even while you're smiling. The cruising isn't filler. It's the sound of time you can't get back. Which raises the real question. If the night has to end, who's brave enough to leave and who's too scared to go?
Hey! Oh, is that you in that beautiful car? Jeez, what a waste of machinery.
The voice in the dark. Now think about the radio. It's never off, not once. There's a DJ stitching the whole night together. Wolfman Jack, a gravel voice floating out of every dashboard in town. And here's the eerie part. He's playing himself. He was a real legend, and Lucas put the real man in the movie. For most of the film, he's just a sound, a presence, almost a god watching over these kids without their knowing it. Then Kurt, the one who's supposed to leave for college, goes looking for him, and he finds him, a real person, tired, human, sitting alone in a little station. Why does that scene hit so hard? Because it's the moment the magic gets a face. The voice that felt eternal turns out to be one lonely man keeping the lights on for a town that's about to scatter. And the Wolfman quietly tells Kurt the truth. There's a big, beautiful world out there. Go see it. It's a benediction, a blessing from the only adult who understands. And it points straight at the question the whole film is circling.
What happened to your flathead? Your mother. What? Your mother. Hey, we've been talking about you.
The white car nobody ever catches. There's a ghost in this movie. A beautiful one. A blonde girl in a white Thunderbird. She glides past Kurt, mouths, "I love you," and vanishes into traffic. He spends the entire night chasing her. He never catches her. You could watch this a dozen times and think it's just a cute subplot. It isn't.
I got a little Vespa that I just kind of play around with. Maybe, we...
Really? Well, that's almost a motorcycle, and I just love motorcycles.
Do? Why didn't you say something earlier?
She's not a girl. She's everything Kurt's afraid to lose. The perfect night, the town, the version of himself that gets to stay 16 forever. She's right there, glowing, always one block ahead, and she's never, ever his to keep. Because that's how the past works. It mouths, "I love you," and disappears around the corner. You chase it your whole life. You never pull alongside. Notice what Lucas is doing. He never explains any of this. He just shows you a white car you can't catch and lets your own heart fill in the rest. And watch how he pays it off. At the very end, Kurt is finally on the plane, climbing away from the only world he's ever known. He looks down.
Jesus, Milner, you're really in a great mood tonight. You know that? What's the matter, John?
And there, on the highway far below, tiny and bright against the morning, the white Thunderbird, still cruising, still out of reach, forever now. He had to leave the ground to finally see it for what it was, a thing you can only love from a distance. So when Kurt stops chasing, what is he really letting go of? 4 boys, 4 ways to face the end. Look closer at the friends. They aren't 4 buddies. They're 4 answers to one question. What do you do when the world's about to change? Kurt is the one with the ticket out. College tomorrow. And he's terrified. He spends the night trying to find a reason to stay.
Hey, sis. What's wrong?
Nothing.
What is it?
Nothing.
Steve is the opposite. He's got the girl, the plan, the whole life mapped out, and somewhere in the dark, he realizes the map is a cage. Terry the Toad just wants to belong. For one night, he borrows a cool car and gets to be somebody. Watching him, you ache, because you know the borrowed cool runs out at dawn. And John, we'll get to John. He's the saddest of all. Now here's the twist most people miss. Kurt and Steve trade places. Steve, the one with the whole future planned, the confident one, decides to stay, to hold on to the girl and the town. And Kurt, the one clinging to home all night long, is the one who actually gets on the plane.
just because you thought I was kind of cute and funny, but then you suddenly realized you were in love with me, it was serious, and, oh, you're really leading up to something kind of big.
You make it sound like I'm giving dictation.
Think about what that's saying. The one who looked ready to leave couldn't. The one who was terrified did it anyway. Courage didn't go to the bold kid, it went to the scared one. Which one would you have been? Here's why this matters. You've been all four of these kids. The one who left, the one who stayed, the one who pretended, the one who couldn't move on.
Don't with the thing. Will you stop with the big
That's not a teen movie, that's a mirror. So which one was Lucas? And which one is the one we're supposed to fear becoming? The king who's already a ghost. Now, John Milner, the fastest car in town, the undefeated drag racer, the cool one everybody steps aside for. And he's the loneliest person in the whole movie. Watch him. He's a little too old to still be doing this. The crown's getting heavy. Younger drivers are coming for him, and he knows that one day soon, one of them wins. He can feel the clock too. He just can't admit it. He ends up driving around all night with a kid sister he didn't want in the car, and slowly he softens. For a few hours, he's not the king. He's just a guy being kind to a child. It's the gentlest thing in the film, and it's almost unbearable because of what you'll learn about him at the very end. John is what happens when you refuse to leave the circle, when the strip becomes your whole life. He's the warning standing right next to the party, and the warning is about to become literal. The 40 seconds that change the whole movie. Then comes the ending, and it's one of the boldest moves in American film. The story is basically over. Dawn. Kurt finally gets on the plane. The night's done. You feel that bittersweet glow, ready to roll credits on a sweet little memory. And then Lucas puts words on the screen, just text, telling you what happened to each of the boys after that night. John Milner, the king who couldn't leave, killed by a drunk driver. Terry, the kid who just wanted to belong, missing in action in Vietnam. Steve, the one who stayed, selling insurance in the same little town. Kurt, the one who got out, a writer, far away. No music swells, no speech, just facts on a black screen. And the entire movie rearranges itself behind your eyes. Every laugh you just had turns into a goodbye. The fun was real, but it was the last of its kind, and Lucas waited until the final seconds to tell you. Why end on cold text instead of a big emotional scene? Because grief doesn't announce itself. It arrives quietly, after the party, when everyone's gone home. The names that aren't there. Now here's the detail that haunts people once they notice it. Those end cards only tell you what happened to the boys. The girls, Lori, Debbie, Carol, get no future at all. The screen stays silent on them. Some call that a blind spot of its time, and there's truth in that, but sit with it a second, because it lands somewhere stranger. In 1973, the boys of 1962 were the ones the country had just sent to war, the ones who came home different or didn't come home at all. The blank space where the women's future should be feels like the movie admitting it can only follow one thread of the wreckage. It's an unfinished thought, and unfinished things stay with you longer than tidy ones. Lucas closed the door on the boys' fates. He left it open on everyone else's, and your mind keeps walking back to that open door. That's the quiet genius of it. The movie tells you 4 endings, and the blank space tells you 100 more. It trusts you to feel the weight of everyone it didn't name. So what was the whole country feeling when it first saw this?
Judy's sister will go with you, is that all right?
Yeah, sure, Judy or sister or mother, anybody, I'll take them all. Listen, we'll go up and stop at that light. It'll turn red by the time we get there, right?
Why 1973 wept at a fun movie? Here's something we forget. Nobody expected this film to work. It was made for almost nothing, under $1 million. A young director nobody trusted. No stars yet. Studios didn't know what to do with a plotless movie about kids driving around. Then it came out, and it became one of the most profitable films ever made for its cost. People went back again and again. Why? Because in 1973, America was exhausted.
Remember what happened to Evelyn Shelnick?
when Mike went into the Marines.
Vietnam, Watergate, a decade of funerals. And here came a movie that opened a window onto the last clear morning before all of it. The poster asked 4 words: where were you in '62? That question wasn't nostalgia, it was a wound. Everyone in that theater knew exactly where they were in '62 and exactly what they'd lost since. The film didn't sell them a good time, it let them grieve one. That's a thing almost no movie dares to do. Be joyful and be a eulogy in the same breath. And the kid who pulled it off was about to do something even bigger.
Oh, you're Judy's little... Oh, shit. How old are you?
Old enough. How old are you?
I'm too old for you.
The Boy Who Left Twice, One More Thread, because it explains everything. This was George Lucas's own life. He grew up cruising a strip exactly like this. As a teenager, he was a gearhead, a kid who wanted to be a race car driver. He wanted to be John Milner. The strip wasn't a set he imagined, it was his whole world. Then, days before he finished high school, his car was hit and nearly folded around him. He should have died. He didn't. And lying in that hospital, the boy who wanted to race for the rest of his life quietly let that dream go. You can feel that exact moment buried in the movie, the pull of the strip and the crash waiting at the end of it. He nearly became the warning he put on screen. So he walked away from racing. He left the strip. He became the boy who got out. American Graffiti is him looking back at the friends and the self he left behind. And notice what he made next. A story about a farm boy who stares at the horizon, aches to leave home, and finally goes out into a vast unknown to become something new. Same story, different sky. Star Wars is the boy from the strip finally getting on the plane. So the question Lucas spent his whole career answering was always the same one. What does it cost to leave the world you came from? What it was really about. So, after all of it, what was American Graffiti really about? Not cars, not the 50s, not even 1962. It was about the last night you were ever fully a kid. The last night the whole group was still together before college and jobs and war and distance peeled you apart one by one. The night you didn't know was the last one, because the last ones never feel like the last ones. Everybody has that night. Yours had different songs, a different town, a different car going around the block, but you had it, and you didn't know. That's the trick Lucas pulled. He made a movie so specific, one strip, one summer, one set of friends, that it became completely universal. He wasn't filming his memory, he was filming yours. And that's why it never fades. You don't grow out of it, you grow into it. The older you get, the more those final cards mean, because by now you've lost a John, a Terry, a town of your own. It stopped being his movie a long time ago. It's yours now. Why nothing has ever replaced it. So why hasn't anyone made this movie again? People have tried. None of it sticks. Why? Because it asks for something the modern version of all this forgot how to do. It trusts you. It never explains the white car. It never tells you to feel sad. It lays the pieces down and steps back and lets the meaning rise up on its own. Today, the instinct is the opposite. Explain everything, underline every feeling, never risk a quiet moment in case somebody scrolls away. It was also brave enough to let the ending hurt. No fix, no reunion, just a true thing on a black screen, and the courage to leave it there. And it loved its small, ordinary world enough to believe a single night in a nowhere town was worth 2 hours of your life. That a burger stand and a borrowed car and a voice on the radio could hold the weight of a whole generation. That's not nostalgia, that's craftsmanship. That's an artist saying this mattered about the most ordinary night imaginable and making you believe it. So the next time someone calls it the fun one, the cars and rock and roll one, let them. They're not wrong, they just stopped at the surface. You know what's underneath now. It's a film about the night everything was still possible, made by a man who knew it couldn't last, for a country that had just found out the hard way. That's why it's still here. That's why it was never replaced. Where were you in '62?